what you lack to give is what you lack. Such an amazing concept that will just shift your perspective on lack, on that feeling of lack. Whatever you feel you are not receiving in your life comes back to what you are giving. What you will give, you will receive. And this goes down to an energetic level. The frequency you bring forth will attract the match of that. If you give anger, fear, sadness out into this world and you project that onto your relationships, into environments, into events, you will receive that energy back towards you, because it's the natural law of existence. It's the natural law of keeping things in balance. If you give this negative, the negative naturally has to come back to you to balance energy out. So if you are someone who is struggling with feeling stuck, someone who's struggling with feeling like they are in a place of lack, like they can't manifest and create their reality, you need to focus on nothing outside of yourself, but what you give off, the energy you bring forward, the actions you show up with in your day-to-day life. How do you show up? If you want to be $1 million man and you don't show up as $1 million man, you will not become $1 million man. You will not give that energy out and receive that back. If the work, if the actions, if the creativity, if the value doesn't match that of $1 million, you will not receive that in exchange. So stop focusing on everything outside of yourself, how you're getting mistreated by God, by the universe, by others, and focus on your inputs. How are you showing up? What energy are you bringing forward into this world? What are you putting out there to receive in return? The answer is always love. No matter what area of your life, the answer is always love. And now that can be tricky to understand. What does that mean? Because love comes and goes in all different forms. That's why you have to take it moment by moment and show up out of love within that relationship, within that moment. Is it hard love? Is it a graceful, free-flowing, hold and nurture love? Or is it a smack upside the face and say, brother, let's go. Put it in the second, put it in the third, kick it in the fourth, let's roll. You need to match where you're at in that experience and give yourself that type of love. Love comes from a place of oneness. Love comes from a place of unity, of peace, of presence, of acceptance. Love is always the answer. And think about love. Love, man, you cannot describe words with love. When I think of the all-loving, the all-being, the omnipresence, God, think of all the different ways love comes. Love can come from free will to make any choice you want in this life, to somehow a relationship just crumbling down right in front of you and this person being pulled out of your life. Like, love can come in all different ways. And love, service, giving that energy at the end of the day is all human beings want. Is all we want deep down, is to be loved. Is to be loved. I was sitting out on a dock earlier today, out on the lake by myself, And I was thinking about how I envisioned these moments of me owning a lake house and being out on the water. And then I looked into it more, and and I thought about in the past how I wanted to be out on the lake with loved ones, and you know now how I wanted to be out on the lake. And then I looked into it, and it's like all I wanted from that was to be a part of something. All I wanted from that was to connect. All I wanted that was to be seen. All I wanted from that was love. So at the end of the day, all we want out of this is love. Like like deep down, even when I think about how I've committed my life to living the utmost service to God, trying to be the greatest expression of God I can be, that is out of love to God. That is out of respect and love to God, that I'm willing to sacrifice my life, my egoic desires and egoic needs, in order to fulfill and embody that light and that energy. And that is out of love. That is me wanting to give love to receive more love, essentially. And all I all that God has told me to do, once coming to that place within my life, and that commitment, all God has presented me with moment by moment is simply show up out of love. Every single moment, the rest will handle itself. You don't have to worry about tomorrow. You don't have to worry about a month. You don't have to worry about a year from now. If you show up present and you show up bringing love into every situation, that love could look like you removing yourself from someone's life, and you setting boundaries, and you having a hard conversation with them where you say, look, I see your behavior, and I love you no matter what, and deep down I will always be here, but this behavior I'm seeing from you, I see so much more within you, and I feel pulled to tell you this. Like, love can mean so many different things, but behind the force of love is oneness, is unity, is pure connection, pure oneness, truly. So if you want to create your life, your dream life faster, if you want to manifest things, if you are someone who wants to manifest a romantic relationship, if you want more financial abundance, if you want better health, if you want your body to feel better, if you want your family dynamic to shift, if you want any of those things and whatever else that are in alignment with your higher self and God, all you have to simply do is put more love into those areas. Put more love into those areas and continue to watch them expand and grow. Where I have gone wrong, and I continue to reshape my energy output, is I tend to focus on the things I could do better, the areas I'm lacking on, because the good stuff, it's like, yeah, it's already good. I don't need to focus on it. But where my mind tends to go is, what do I need to work on? What do I need to fix? And it's great to be aware of your reality and how you're showing up, but you cannot get caught up in the cycle of lack. You can be aware and then still instantly reframe and choose love for yourself in those moments and still give yourself love. And then out of that place of giving yourself love, you will continue to expand and grow and evolve out of love. Instead of self-sabotaging and keeping yourself small, out of that place of love, you will create the space to continue to grow limitlessly. So love is always the answer. If you're ever lost, if you ever need to know what to do, you need to get still. You need to go in, deep within, and ask yourself, what is the most loving thing I could do for myself right now? What is the most loving thing I could do for God right now? As that expression of God. And then simple, actionable steps will present themselves to you from that moment. And, I've personally found the reality is I only have so much time and energy I can put into certain areas of my life in a 24-hour day. And that if I want certain areas of my life to grow, I need to make them a priority. I need to put attention, energy, and love into those things in order for them to expand and grow. So if there's certain areas in your life that you feel isn't really matching or in alignment with where you're at, with who you could be, then you need to shift your attention not onto the lack, but shift that attention into that area out of love and abundance, and make that your reality. If you shift your attention from wherever you were at before into that area of lack, but your attention and energy continues to go into lack, you will continue to create that. But when we take our attention from here and we come here out of love, it continues to grow and grow and grow from there. So love is always the answer. Trust yourself. The right answer is probably the answer that first came up for you, that's a little uncomfortable, that deep down is the right way, but you're not really ready to accept it or face what that means and the sacrifices you will have to make for that. It's probably the one that makes you uncomfortable. Whenever it is time for you to, yeah, that's what I have to do, and finally acknowledge and accept that, you'll show up that way. But remember, love is always the answer. You can never go wrong by showing up out of love, and that starts within yourself first. Not looking outside of yourself, but giving yourself that love, because what you are lacking is what you are lacking to give. Thank you for listening. I will see you tomorrow. Let's go.